8:38. It's we're into a couple hours into the 7th annual Cures for Kids Radiothon, supporting Camp Quality in Sylvan Lake, and also the Red Deer Ronald McDonald House. And I know we all have been educated somewhat over the last little bit about the Red Deer, or I guess about the Ronald McDonald House in general, and about how important it was. And I've got to say, I've been absolutely blown away, because there were things about it that I didn't even realize. And I always thought of it as a place to stay, and that's great. But then you don't realize that there's so many families that are staying there and that are staying and are able to support each other. Like it is something else. And we have Lisa here right now to tell us her story, and it is another in a line of amazing stories and what the Ronald McDonald House has done for their family. But good morning, Lisa. Thanks for being here. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
Very well. Now, Lisa, can you tell us a little bit first off about your situation and how you ended up needing the Ronald McDonald House?
Back in May last year, I ended up being taken by ambulance to Calgary with some complications of my pregnancy. And I had twin boys at 27 weeks gestation.
Unbelievable. We were looking at the pictures here, like, holy.
Yeah, like the size of your husband's hand. And I heard his wedding ring fit over their leg.
He was able to slide their hands through it and bring it right up to
their hands.
Just tiny.
Weston was 2 pounds and Boyd was 2 pounds 8 ounces.
So that's, 88 days premature. So obviously, then there was a need for you to be there with the babies for how long before you guys could actually go home?
We stayed in Calgary for 41 days, and then we were transferred to Red Deer, and we're in the Red Deer Hospital for 6 weeks.
So that's obviously where your stay for the Ronald McDonald House came into play. And I think what people don't realize is that with the Ronald McDonald House, I mean, imagine if you had to make a trek back and forth, say from Red Deer, driving all the time, or staying in a hotel. I mean, if you've got a family and stuff, that's a couple $100 a night that you'd be looking at right there alone over 41 days. Who can do that?
Well, if you do $200, with 41 days, that's roughly $8,400.
Yeah, not even financially, but emotionally, that's whole back and forth.
Well, and it was hard because I'm isolated from my family and friends, but they're such wonderful people at the house, not only the families that are using the facility, but as well as the staff. It gave me the opportunity to be involved in the boys' care at the NICU in the hospital, as well as bring them mommy's best. And, I couldn't imagine of having to drive from Red Deer at 3 o'clock in the morning when they're phoning saying, we need you to come now, we have an emergency.
Exactly.
It's just heart-wrenching when you get that call anyways.
And the one thing that I have found hearing stories about people who use the Ronald McDonald House is just the support that you have from how everybody pulls together, all the families that are there in their own crisis. You have an opportunity to get together, and it's a real support group, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll tell you, the families that they are part of our family now. There were one big family, and we supported each other. And I lived with families that had kids with cancer, kids that had been in accidents that needed to be at the children's hospital. So we all had different unique crisis situations, but we were all there to support and care for each other. And it was amazing how that bond attracted so quickly.
Yeah, and to be there, and you said something that I never thought about, but it must be an amazing feeling, because I imagine it would be a helpless feeling when somebody you love so much is going through that, but to be involved in their care and know what's going on 24/7 must be a big relief, really.
Yeah. I have 3 other children, so it also allowed, because my husband had to come back here to work, it allowed me to at least see them on weekends, to come and stay at the house with us as well. So it's their slogan is amazing, giving sick children what they need most, their families, and they do that and so much more.
Now, with that, of course, and we're here raising funds for a Red Deer Ronald McDonald House, which will be absolutely amazing, because we have some fantastic care in our area, which will provide a lot of relief for other families, because the last thing you need to be worrying about when you're going through a crisis is where are you going to stay, how are we going to pay for it. Now, your daughter, Janaea, she's 10 years old, and she did an amazing thing in helping raise some funds. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, back in the fall, Janaea had come to my husband and I and wanted to do something for the Ronald McDonald House and said, what could I do? And so she had tossed around a few ideas and had decided that she wanted to do a hot dog sale. So we had to go through the channels and talk to Larry in Calgary at the Ronald McDonald House there, and obviously the school and whatnot. And so she did this hot dog sale and set herself a goal of $1,000. And by the amazing generosity of family, friends, and people in this community, she's raised just over $25,000.
That's incredible.
And that all will be going to the house here.
So, I mean, if an amazing child like that at 10 years old can have the wherewithal to pull together and to raise that kind of money, there's no reason why you listening right now, or, you know, could step up to the plate. 100, 1,000, 10,000 people, everybody just come by, drop a donation off, a loonie here, a loonie there. It doesn't take long for it to rack up, as obviously Janaea can attest to.
Well, and it was really important for us to teach her that, and she had a very good attitude about it. If it was $5, $20, or $100, it still all made a difference. And her title was "Come Help Me Make a Difference." So she, like I said, she well surpassed that $1,000
Holy smokes, that is absolutely amazing. How are the boys? How are the boys doing now?
The boys are doing really well. Weston was 2 pounds when he was born, and Boyd was 2 pounds 8 ounces. And Weston is now 19 pounds 5 ounces, and Boyd is 17 pounds 15 and a half ounces. And they were 11 months old yesterday.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. Well, that's good to hear that they're doing well, and that there's a prime example. Now, if you're listening and wondering, well, how about donating? If we can get a Red Deer Ronald McDonald House built, obviously, we will have stories to share about how lives were changed and lives were helped right here in central Alberta as well.
That's something that I had learned when they were here in Red Deer for the 6 weeks, is the families that drove from distances here in Red Deer. And one family drove from Three Hills every day, and that worked about 3 hours a day driving, and it killed that mom to leave her little one every night. And there was a mom from Fort McMurray, there was a family from Idaho, another family from Saskatchewan. So just in that 6 week period, families that I met and I got introduced to, when you're not in that, when you don't know what goes on in the special care nursery here, right? We don't plan on these crises, these traumatic situations. They just kind of happen, and so it's so nice to be able to have a facility like the Ronald McDonald House, because it's just one less stress to have to worry about.
Well, Lisa, thank you for sharing your story. We appreciate that, and there's all the reason in the world for you right there to step up to the phone and help support the Red Deer Ronald McDonald House and Camp Quality in Sylvan Lake. Make your donations and make it now. 342-5437. That's 342 KIDS.